Hi guys, Artiar here. So for this video, we'll be going through Sui Zai, which is the Beast Nian, the upcoming new Esper we're gonna have, which is a Furry Esper as well. We're gonna go through his skill kit, what he can do and what he can't do, and we won't do any PvP testing, but we will go try about his skill kit and break down for you guys. Alright, so let's take a look at his in-game model first.
I sense danger.
Alright, so this is his in-game model.
Seems pretty safe here.
Alright, then this is his Dislyte art. He's hugging his meat bolster, lying down, and then he's like get captured in a cage, and there's like firecrackers,
Seems pretty safe here.
explosion stuff around it. So there's like all the stuff that he is afraid of because of the Chinese New Year. We're using like firecrackers. That's what he is afraid, like loud voice. Alright, so Dislyte wise is have a chance of 100% chance of inflicting one stack of doom grabs when counter attacking. So I think it is another layer of debuff, so you can actually stack up the doom grabs a lot more faster. So he have a leader buff of 40% for PvP content, and then his S1 here, let's see, S1 here attack a single target for 3 times, and then the first 2 hit is 30%, and then the last hit here is 60%. So it's a total of 3 hit damage, and that inflicts sear to the target. So this S1 here can be further upgraded to 80% for the 3rd hit. So 80% plus 60% because of 2 hit is a total of 140% from his S1. Then passive here, 50% of damage deal is converted into HP, so basically life steal 50%. Counter attack chance have a default of 20%, but you can further upgrade it to 100%, which is highly recommended, so you don't have to go like Nora. Nora needs R6 for the 100% chance. He doesn't need the R6 effect to make him 100% chance, so he can make himself 100% counter attack chance. He's immune to all buff and debuff when counter attacking, inflicting 1 stack of doom grabs on the target. So this one here is actually same as the Dislyte here, so I think that's gonna inflict 2 layers, so 1 stack from the passive, another stack from the Dislyte, but I don't have the Dislyte on him, so I can't really test this part out. Then if Untamed Furry is not active, which he don't have this buff here, then he will gain Untamed Furry after 3 counter attacks. So it's very easy for him to actually get the Untamed Furry. As long as he get 3 hit, he counter attack 3 times, then he's able to get this Untamed Furry. His speed is plus 200% in Untamed Furry mode, and this Untamed Furry is not turn limited. It is a permanent golden realm buff for himself to increase his speed by 200%, and then his S3 here will forever get unlocked, because you can see here his S3 doesn't have a cooldown. So as long as he counter attack 3 times already, he can always spam his S3 forever. So he can be cast when Untamed Furry is active, deals damage to everyone, AoE damage, 150% attack. If the target is inflicted by doom grabs before, which is the debuff he will apply after he counter attack, then every stack of doom grabs will further inflict additional true damage of 30%. So you can inflict up to 5 stack, so it's a 150% true damage. But sadly, Wu Yu, especially for Wu Yu, they won't get a huge Wu Yu won't get debuff, so you cannot actually apply this true damage on Wu Yu. But other than Wu Yu, the other Esper that can get applied by debuff, then they will get this true damage. Then Doom Grabs here is actually a healing received reduced by 20% up to 5 stack. So this stack here, every dispelling attempt remove only 1 stack. So it's actually a very good debuff to mess up enemies dispel mechanic. So let's say if they're using Clara can only dispel 2 debuff at one time. So if you apply Doom Grabs, maybe you have 5 stack of Doom Grabs on that target, and then there's like Seer, there's like Mist Rate Up, buff blocker, or a lot kind of different debuff. This Doom Grab skill, you will actually mess up the dispel, because maybe the dispel RNG all come into these doom grabs, then they are not able to dispel the debuff they actually wanted to dispel. So it's a very annoying debuff, I would say, because it can stack up to 5 stack, and every stack is 1 stack consumed. Right, rival rune wise is a little bit disappointed, because it is a Heidi set and Avatara set. He doesn't need Avatara because he already have 100% counter attack as long as you skill him up. He doesn't really need the nether set, like 35% damage convert into HP is like, okay, it's kind of good, but I already have 50% here. I mean, the more the better, but I at first I thought he's gonna get like Thunder set, or maybe he has Brawler set, something like that, but a little bit disappointing for this rival rune part, but yeah. Then for Rezo wise, R1 will increase the S1 final damage, so S1 damage more. Then R2 increase the HP convert from damage deal to 100%, which means if you do 100k damage, then you're gonna heal 100k damage. If Untamed Furry is not active, which means if you haven't triggered counter attack 3 times, you won't get Untamed Furry. But the moment you reach your HP is 50% below, he will instantly gather gains Untamed Furry. It will trigger only once per battle, so he will instantly get Untamed Furry, so he'll be very fast. Then extra stats, R4 final damage plus 10% for the S3, and every stack of Doom Grabs now inflict additional 50% true damage. So instead of 30% now, it will increase up to 50%. So 5 stack, which means he can do additional 250% of true damage. Then R6, which is I would say a major buff for him, which is whenever a buff or debuff is attempted on Sui Zai, then his attack is permanently increased by 5% up to 100%. So he gained a 100% attack buff for himself whenever he get buff or debuff. Then he have a total height of 210, is actually very tall compared to the other Esper we have in game. He's very tall. He's only 18 years old. Then you can watch his story here. He have his own story like in this part here. So he doesn't have a story event, but if you get this Esper, you are able to read through his story. Alright, so this is what he can do, and now I'm gonna demonstrate for you what he can actually do in PvP content. Because this is PTR server, this is a test server. This account doesn't have a good equipment or doesn't have a good stuff editing. But I'm gonna show you, Sui Zai is actually an Esper that can get golden realm buff. So let's say I'm gonna as I mentioned, Sui Zai is actually height 2.0. So I'm gonna show you like these two Esper here. If I'm gonna put Lucian here, Lucian is gonna give everyone accentuated, right? And let's see what happens. Right? So you can see after I apply the accentuated, height get 2 stack of Breath of the Deep. Meanwhile, my Sui Zai here is getting accentuated. He can get golden realm buff as long as it is not a normal buff. So let's say I'm gonna apply S3 here. S3 is gonna provide safeguard. He is going to get the safeguard. Alright, he only cannot get debuff and the normal buffs. So normal buffs such as like attack up, speed up, defend up, all these kind of buff will not apply on him. But other than that, you are actually able to apply any kind of golden realm buff on him. So let's say I'm gonna put in Chuyao. So let's say I'm gonna put in like Mavis here, and let's say I'm gonna put in Champagne here. We are actually able to make him get all these kind of buff. Right, let me give Champagne better equipment. Alright, so let's see. Right, so he did get the Spirit Aegis from Chuyao. He gets Spirit Aegis, he get a shoulder buff from Champagne, he get accentuated buff from Lucian. Right, then Lucian safeguard apply on him. Then Champagne here, the S3 here will apply attack up, soldier and soldier and also horse. Then this attack up will not apply on him, but he will still get the horse buff. So he have different golden rune buff on him now. I can also apply Maybe's holiday rest on him as well. So he's an Esper that doesn't get buff and debuff, but he's an Esper that can get the other buff that is actually OP, which is the golden rune buff. Alright, so if you after you get so many buff, and if he actually get counter attacked by 3 times, which I'm going to show you now, if he get counter attacked by 3 times, he's gonna unlock his S3. Okay, let me apply Spirit Against on him. Counter attack 100% chance. Then he counter attack will let him self heal as well. Self heal depends on how many damage you deal. 50% of it. Alright, then he get Untamed Furry because he counter attacked 3 times already. Then he have his own special buff. This special buff grants him speed plus 200%, which means he's going to go very, very fast now. So I have no idea if I should build him like full out DPS or maybe should build some speed on him. This needs to be tested more, but for now, for our first impression, maybe we should make him fast. Alright, then after that, your S3 here you can keep spamming. So S3 spam, you do damage, and then when your turn take again, you're actually able to do damage again. And then now everyone here have at least 1 stack of the Doom grabs here, right? So let me try to use S3 now. So you can see it actually deals damage, and it seems like the true damage is actually able to crit. It seems like it because it mentioned additional damage from the S3, but once my S3 nuke, right, I don't see a normal damage that can't crit because true damage cannot be crit, but the S3 here, it seems like it's able to crit because here the additional true damage, right? So S3, you see every damage here is actually critting, so it seems like it's actually able to crit. Then after that, if your healing is high enough, if your damage is high enough, you can actually survive through everyone's attack. Right, so this is how Sui Zai is gonna play in the PvP combat. But after but in our live stream, I actually tested him in Point War, but with this current account, without a very good equipment, like his equipment here is not very that impressive, and then no Divinate, no Rezo, and meanwhile in fighting the test server here, they have like Divinate, they have like Rezo. It's actually very hard for me to have a very fair comparison, so I will actually wait for my final conclusion for him when it's at global server. Like after I'm using my main account, I have him into a certain Rezo, certain Divinate, then VS they have the same range, like let's say the enemy move of R4 D5 D6, then I have R4 D6, or maybe R6 D6, then we have a better fair comparison for that case, right? So for now, I would say that he looks very good, he looks very promising for me. It's like very high damage, very high survivability because of the healing. So maybe I should make him tanky instead of making him full out DPS. And I think he is going to be a high Rezo Esper because he reminds me of Momo, which requires high stats, high Divinate investment. Like as many Rezo as possible, as many Divinate as possible to make him strong. I feel like he's going to be like a Momo situation. He's going to need a lot of stats. He's going to be a very stats hungry Esper. And the last thing is his summoning animation.
I smell enemies. Let the battle begin.
Right, so this is his summoning animation. Right, so basically that's all for this video for our first impression. Then after that, I might actually try to R6 my Sui Zai in PTR server so I can actually test the this thing. I wanted to test this additional true damage. Is it able, the crit, is it a bug or what? And we are not sure is the golden realm buff is a bug or what as well. And then this R6 effect here are what I want to test. Is it that's gonna get us like a buff stack count for us to see or what? Right, so okay, last thing is the name card. If you R6 him, then you'll get his name card, and this will be his name card. Oh, it's still bugged currently. Alright, so I can't show you the final conclusion, the final name card quality. Right, but basically that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. And special thanks for the direct support on the YouTube membership. So for the benefactor of Artiar, which is JNMP, Yakishiba Tales, Epic Bullet Boy, thank you so much for your support. And for the supporter and patron of Artiar, which is Louis Schneider, Agni, Code Wilderness, Wang Tamer, Ziggy, Kamaruki, Soundwatts, Rimu, Chorny, Antonio Winterspoon, Ilm Cragran, Riku Fred X Iris, Calamity, Rocco Stanzions, thank you so much for your support. Special thanks for the direct support on the live stream super chat for the latest tag. Thank you so much for Code Wilderness, Calamity, Agni, Love Fatima, Fatima Little Underwear, Bloods, Riku Fred, Chorny. Thank you so much for your support.